Hello everybody, it's me again. Second video in one day. This one I'm talking about some books I've got ready for a festival that I'm going to be doing on this coming bank holiday Monday. Well, it is just down the road from me in Stallbridge. In this year it's going to be an inaugural event. Inaugural, yeah. It's this Don't Panic Festival, celebrating 50 years of Douglas Adams doing the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Because he, at the very least, Douglas Adams got the idea for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy whilst living in Stallbridge. Got a feeling he started writing it there as well. So on this coming Monday, the 25th of May, noon till 6 p.m, there's the festival going on down at Stallbridge Recreational Ground, and I've got a stall there. I'm going to be doing books, sci-fi books. I've got a load of second-hand ones in the shop that I'm going to be, quite a few of them I'm going to be taking. Got another copy that's going to get these up in the window. But I've ordered some new ones as well, new books to take with me. So I'm going to just do a bit of a run through of what I got. So I've got this one, Burger Tree Mount by Adam Roberts. It's a space story. Interstellar craft is decelerating after a century-long voyage. Its destination is a now empty planet dominated by a conical mountain rising high above the atmosphere. Ship's crew of 5 hope to discover how the long-departed builders made such a colossal thing and why. There's a bit more blurb there. So yeah, there's that. Right, I'll move this round. Don't like that. Star Wars trilogy on VHS. Right, and then there's this one, Fish Tales by Shiri S. Tapper. And I'm sure if I'm mispronouncing the names, people will tell me. So, the 35th novel, science fiction master Shiri Tapper boldly weaves together the storylines of 11 of her previous works, from King's Blood 4 to The Water Rising. In Fish Tales, 2 of Shiri Tapper's beloved characters and their children travel from village to village scattered across the sparsely populated land of Tingawa. They are searching for others who might be interested in adopting their sea-dwelling lifestyle. For the waters are rising and will soon engulf the entire planet, transforming it utterly and irrevocably. So yeah, that's a little bit of a meaty one to go. And then there's this one, War of the Maps by Paul Macaulay. Across a giant artificial world in space, the Lucidor hunts his man. So on a giant artificial world surrounding an artificial sun, one man, a Lucidor, a keeper of the peace, a policeman, is on the hunt. His target was responsible for an atrocity, but is too valuable to the government to be truly punished. Instead, he has been sent to the front line of the war to use his unique talent on the enemy. And there's a little bit more blurb there. Oh, yeah, got a little pile of books, yeah. So there's this one. Whose side are you on? Meta Wars, the Freedom Frontier. So after the Metasphere comes the final battle. With the Guardians and Millennials eliminated, Jonah and Sam are left to fend for themselves. When they discover their enemy, Granger, is also on his own, they take the ultimate leap of faith and join forces to survive and save humanity. The frontier of the world on and offline is at stake, and Jonah will not stop until he prevails, even if it means making the absolute sacrifice. Oh, it's the final book in the Awesome Metal War series. Didn't realise this was the final book in the series. I haven't got the others. Yeah, so I'm thinking that's only going to really sell well if people have got all the other previous books. I'm going to take it to the I should be here because for the most part I did all right in making sure I got books that are the first in the series and stuff like that. But this one dropped the ball a little bit. So, and well, I'll take it to the festival with me on Monday because I think I've got 2 or 3 copies of this book, and if it sells, it sells. If not, what I'll do is before I put it out on the shelves in the shop, I'll find out what all the other books are in the series. I'll just put a 4 there. So I'm wondering if that's book 4. I'll get all the other books in the series, and then so I've got them to go in the shop as well. Yeah, but all the books that I've got, all the copies of the books, whatever I don't sell at the festival on Monday, they're going to be then in the shop. Right. So here's a bit of a classic. From the Earth to the Moon and Around the Moon by Jules Verne. So, from the Earth to the Moon and Around the Moon, Jules Verne turned the ancient fantasy of spaceflight into a believable technological possibility, an engineering dream for the industrial age. Oh. Directly inspired by Verne's story, enthusiasts work successfully at overcoming the practical difficulties, and within a century, human beings did indeed fly to the moon. Not everybody does believe that they flew to the moon, but that's a different conversation for another video. Right. Curiously, however, Verne is unlikely to have thought it possible that a manned projectile could actually be fired out of a giant cannon, rising higher than the moon, swinging around it, and then landing safely back on Earth. He had used the science of the day to construct a literary conjuring trick, a hoax, one of the most successful in all history. By skillful misdirection, he drew the attention of readers away from a weakness in the project. Read the book and you too will be fooled into accepting the realistic possibility in Verne's time of that dream of flying to the moon. Yeah. I mean, having a sci-fi bookstore at an event, you got to have 1 or 2 of the classics in there. I think when I was first putting an order together for books for the store, I was going a bit too overboard with the classics. So what I ended up doing, I just ended up deleting my order and starting again because I thought I don't want to go too overboard because some of the classics, a lot of people potentially already have them. So I thought just keep them sparse, just so I wouldn't say token gesture, but don't go overkill on them. But anyway, now here's something. Doctor Who, Death in the Stars, Bonnie Langford, a Melanie Bush mystery. So, a band of killers, survivors with a secret, a death-defying murder mystery in space. So yeah, gotta have a bit of Doctor Who, a little bit. So the last few recent series of Doctor Who, what absolutely shockingly terrible writing. Jodie Whittaker, she was done dirty. She really was. I was getting all excited about having a female Doctor because having a female Master. Oh, what was the actress's name? The actress that did the female Master, who did Missy. Absolutely flipping corkingly good job. Absolutely spot on. Pretty decent writing. And Jodie Whittaker, being the female Doctor, I thought, oh, this is going to be good. But the scripts. I mean, there's only so much you can do to with a pile of poo. But anyway, so back to the books. And I've only got one copy of this book. Connie Willis, To Say Nothing of the Dog. Alright. So Ned Henry is a time-travelling historian who specialises in the mid-20th century, currently engaged in researching the bombed-out Coventry Cathedral. He's also made so many drops into the past that he's suffering from a dangerously advanced case of time lag. Unfortunately for Ned, an emergency dash to Victorian England is required, and he's the only available historian. But Ned's time lag is so bad that he's not sure what the errand is, which is bad news since if he fails, history could unravel around him. That sounds quite interesting, actually. I might next time I put in an order with West Country Books, I might order a copy of that for myself. Good thing about being a bookshop owner with accounts with wholesalers, if I want a copy of a new book for myself, I can get it for a wholesale price. Got to be some perks to the job. But anyway, so then there's this one. William Gibson and Bruce Sterling, The Difference Engine. So in London, 1855, the great steam-driven Babbage engines power the Industrial Revolution. The age of the computer is already here, and the industrial radicals and the scientists are its rulers. But there's still treachery and intrigue at the heart of government, and Sybil Gerard, fallen woman, Edward Mallory, paleontologist, and Lady Ada Byron, compulsive gambler and mathematical genius, are unwittingly caught up in a conspiracy that could change the world. Sounds potentially interesting. That sounds like a bit of a steampunk book. Oh, that's a. Yeah, I think a copy of that might at some point find its way into my to-read pile. Alright, anyway, so then there's this by Carol Stivers, The Mother Code. 2049, a bioweapon is out of control and has begun to annihilate Earth's population. Oh, so sounds a little bit like Terminator, but not quite. So, in a race against time to save humanity, scientists design large-scale robots in which genetically engineered children will be incubated, birthed, and raised. Okay, that's different. Years later, Kai is born in America's desert southwest. His only companion is robot mother, Rosie. Utterly alone, he is dependent on her for survival. But as he and the other children scattered over the desert begin to grow and emerge from their hiding places, their mothers also begin to change, but in frightening ways. It's down to humanity's last survivors. Is it time to destroy the mothers before they destroy them? I'm not sure if I'd enjoy that kind of story or not. It kind of sounds intriguing, but I'm not sure if it sounds intriguing enough for me to want to go for it. Anyway, I quite like the cover on this one. Look at that, that's a dinky little cover. Philip Mann, The Disestablishment of Paradise. So something has gone badly wrong on the planet of paradise. It often does, doesn't it? It often does. The human settlers, well, there you go right away. No wonder it's gone badly wrong on the planet. There's humans there. Where there's a human, there's a problem. But anyway, human settlers, farmers and scientists, are finding that their crops won't grow and their lives are becoming more and more dangerous. The indigenous plant life, never entirely safe, is changing in unpredictable ways, and the imported plantings wither and die. And so the order is given. Paradise will be abandoned. All personnel will be removed and reassigned, and all humans' presence on the planet will be disestablished. And there's a little bit more blurb on the back there. I'm kind of trying to keep it brief going through the reading the descriptions because I don't want to go on too long. I've already been talking for about 15-16 minutes. Alright, and then there's this one, Inherit the Stars by Tessa Elwood. So our love and loyalty. As the youngest daughter of the House of Fane, Asa lives every day of her life in honour of both for herself and her people. But as the kingdom's food and energy crisis peak, Asa must find more to fuel Fane's survival. Taking the place of her older sister in an arranged marriage with Eagle, the heir to the prosperous house of Westlet, seemed like a straightforward solution. Forging an unforeseen bond, however, leads to an unavoidable division of loyalties. One simple truth lies at the heart of the matter, and only Asa can decide which one to tell. Romance, politics, and space adventures intersect in this first book of Tessa Elwood's addictive debut duology. Fair dues. And then we got, this is a hardback here. Got The Martian Girl, a London mystery. Right. So, that's a. Okay, that puts me. I find that a bit hard to read. So, some may profess, Draper said, to find in what follows a mere trickery. Others may see feats performed that are completely incompatible with inductive science. That's difficult to read. Flipping heck. Well, the inside's easier to read. I'm being careful. I don't want to open up too much. I want to keep the spine nice and pristine. But yeah, the back's a bit. Yeah, colour choicing on the words not too brilliant, I think. Right, Metro 2033. And I've actually got a copy of this myself that I bought a little while ago. And I've read it. It's not exactly a light read, but I enjoyed it. So the year is 2033. The world has been reduced to rubble. Humanity is nearly extinct. A few thousand live on, not knowing if they are the only survivors on the planet. They live in the Moscow Metro, the biggest air raid shelter ever built. It is humanity's last refuge. It is a world without a tomorrow, with no room for dreams, plans, hopes. Feelings have given way to instinct, the most important of which is survival at any price. So it's basically about people like living in sort of Moscow's metro. And it was quite a good story. I enjoyed it, Very, very interesting. There's two more books. I've got the second one, 2034, and there's also a 2035. So yeah, but no, good book that. Good book. And then another of the classics, George Orwell's 1984. So I think we all know about that, don't we? I mean, we don't really need to go too much into 1984 and what that's about. Good old Big Brother. Oh no, this is quite an interesting little cover on it. There you go, look at that. Samuel Delaney. Was it Delaney? One or the other. That's why someone will probably tell me something completely different. So that's Babel 17. So in the far future, after human civilization has spread through the galaxy, communications begin to arrive in an apparently alien language. They appear to threaten invasion, but in order to counter the threat, the messages must first be understood. Alright, oh guys. Well, I'm going to have to go and get a drink a second, bear with me. Oh, sorry about that, guys, just had to get a drink. My throat was getting more and more tickly. So anyway, on to the next one, which is this one, a bit of a doorstop of a book. Blind Space by Jeremy Zahl. It's about an elite soldier who's injected with a dangerous drug called Stormtech, DNA of a genocidal alien race, the Sh'nai. Makes him stronger, faster, more aggressive, at a price. A price that, if the House of Suns cult isn't stopped, all of humanity will have to pay. Oh, could be an interesting little read. That's a little bit of light reading before you go to bed and go to sleep. And then there's this one, Ancestral Machines by Michael Copley. So the War Cage is a feat of unprecedented stellar engineering. 200 worlds harnessed to an artificial sun, built to travel through space as a monument to peace between alien species. Its precarious rulers have turned it into a nightmarish wasteland, capturing new planets for slaves and resources, then discarding the old. Now, when a verdant agri-world is pulled out of his orbit and a deal goes bad, it's up to the captain of a smuggler's ship to journey into the waste cage and rescue his crew. Ancestral Machines is a gripping standalone adventure set in the world of Michael Copley's best-selling science fiction series, The Humanities Fire Trilogy. So there you go, right, so standalone adventure. But it all ties in with a trilogy. So it can't be bad. And then there's this one here. It's another bit of a chunky one. It's by S.K. Vaughan, Across the Void. So Christmas Day 2067, silent night drifts across the ruins of a wrecked spaceship, listing helplessly in the black. A soul woman, May, stirs within. The last person left alive of a disastrous first manned mission to Europa, a moon of Jupiter. There is only one person who can help her, her ex-husband Stephen, a NASA scientist who was heading up the mission back on Earth. Until, that is, she broke his heart and he left both her and the mission. Now May clings to life, and it is only his voice travelling across the fathomless miles that can bring her home. Oh, it's a space romance. Well, there you go. That'll be for some people. I think it doesn't sound quite like my cup of tea, but hey ho. Anyway, right. So, and another Doctor Who one. Look at that. I TARDIS. Memoirs of an Impossible Blue Box, as told by Steve Cole. To Steve Cole. Put your eyes in properly, Dave. Right, yeah. So it's a story about the old TARDIS. So the Doctor has a unique bond with the TARDIS. They've always loved the old girl for the way she's gone looking for trouble anywhere in the universe. The Doctor says they stole the TARDIS from Gallifrey. The TARDIS disagrees. She stole them. She hasn't always taken them where they want to go, but she's made sure to take them where they needed to be. The TARDIS is far more than just a time machine crossed with a spaceship. Her life reflects the Doctor's life, the shared wanderlust and longing to explore. Now you can revisit the Doctor's adventures as seen through the eyes, or the flashing rooftop light, at least, of the TARDIS. From the time the Doctor stole her from Gallifrey to her latest adventures with the 15th Doctor, the TARDIS reflects wittily on her epic, incredible history, past, present and future. Alright, so talking about Doctor's adventures through the eyes of the TARDIS. And yeah, it's got some good photos in there. So that's Tom Baker. He's a lot of people's favourite Doctor. I grew up with Sylvester McCoy. That was my Doctor growing up. So, and now, right, this is a trilogy of books. We only find them when they're dead. Got book 1, The Seeker. Oh, don't drop it, Dave. Book 1, The Seeker. And then there's book 2, The Stealer. And then book 3, The Soul. It's all about the gods are always, this is the back on book 1. Gods are always beautiful and the gods are always dead. It's all about sort of finding the old gods and that kind of thing. Right, almost at the end, guys, almost at the end. So the last 3 books to show you. There's this one here. Judge Dredd. A Penitent Man. Oh look, graphic novel. So can't beat a bit of Judge Dredd. And also Judge Dredd Regicide. I got just one of each. I loved Judge Dredd growing up. I wasn't a big fan of the 95 film, Sylvester Stallone. Didn't quite do it for me. But Carl Urban's Judge Dredd back in Crumpus 2012, I think that was. Long time ago, no. That was true to the, I think more true to the source material. Really enjoyed that. Shame they didn't do more with Carl Urban. Very, very deep shame. But hey ho. So yeah, I've got a couple of Judge Dredds, and I might even start stocking more copies of that stuff in the shop. So anyway, guys, last book, and because I know I've been going on a little bit, it's a bit of a long video. Look at that. Dan Dare, Pilot of the Future. Space Fleet Operations Manual. Yeah, it's sort of a bit of a spin on the old Haynes car manual. So got all that. Got that there. I got a little bit shirt Marsport. I don't want to bend it too much. And we've got the Telezero ship. All other bits. And the MH training craft. So yeah, it's just all other bits. So yeah, so anyway guys, I know that might go well, it might not, I don't know. Anyway, so there we go guys, that's all the stock of new books that I've got. And like I said, I'll also be taking some second-hand ones along with me as well. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. It's been the first time in about a good 6 or 7 months since I last did a bookstore. So it'd be nice to do it again after all these months. So anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed just seeing little goodies that I've got. And I'll see you in the next one, and in the meantime, stay safe, happy reading.